My name is Stephanie Evers Ard, and I am a performer with Commedia Arte Traveling Players. And today I'm going to talk to you about ad-libbing. An ad-lib is when you have to speak or perform without having previously prepared your words. And in theater, there are two main instances where you might need to ad-lib. The first is in an intentional improvisation situation. So think of something like, whose line is it anyway? Or perhaps interacting with the guest at a Ren fair in which most of the speaking is going to be done ad lib. The second instance, the one way more likely to happen in Commedia dell'arte, is when something goes wrong on stage and we have to ad lib our way back onto the script. It's the second kind of ad libbing that I'm going to talk about today. What do we do when something unpredictable happens? And believe me, there are a lot of things that can go wrong. Someone could forget their line, maybe a sound effect doesn't go off on time, or, as happened to me when we did Phantom Curses the Opera, your wig might fall off in the middle of a dance number. The trick is to get back on track before the audience notices something is wrong. So my 5 steps for doing this are 1, don't panic. 2, keep moving. 3, stay in character. 4, roll with whatever happens. And 5, get back to the script as soon as possible. So how do we do it? The first step is don't panic. And that's easier said than done. This is probably the hardest part. When you realize something has gone wrong, take a deep breath and think about how to move the situation forward. Don't freak out. Instead, move straight into number 2. Keep moving. Don't let there be a gap in the dialogue or the action. If you stand there with nothing happening, the audience will know there's a problem. As soon as you realize something's going wrong, say or do something to fill in the gap. And as you do so, remember number 3, stay in character. Think about how your character would react. For example, let's say you're on stage and you're waiting for an actor who has missed their cue. Would your character patiently have a polite conversation about the day's news while waiting for the character to come on stage? Or would they angrily shout the missing character's name to get them to show up? When Carlotta's wig fell off, I knew she would be humiliated, but I also knew that she would demand that her admirers reassure her that she was beautiful, even though she was bald. Also remember to keep the response appropriate to the time period and your audience. If you're performing a period piece, for example, don't use anachronistic language or reference current events. And whatever you do, whatever happens on the stage, remember step number 4. Roll with it. Ad-libbing is never going to be perfect. If someone else on stage does something, just go with it. In improv, this is called yes and, where you accept what the other actor has said and continue with it until you get back to where you need to be. And where you need to be is back on the script. So that's number 5. Get back to the script as soon as possible. Ad-libbing is sometimes necessary, but don't get carried away. If you keep making up lines, the other actors aren't going to know where you are, and you could end up leaving out important parts of the play. Try to get back to the script as quickly as you can. A few other things to remember. First, in many stage productions, too much ad-libbing is going to be a huge violation of stage etiquette. It can get you in trouble, and it could even violate the performance license for that play. Second, ad-libbing is not a substitute for properly learning your lines. The playwright wrote the script the way they did for a reason, so study your lines and get back to the script. The good news is you now know what to do if something does go wrong on stage. Remember that a carefully placed ad-lib can save the show and save the day.